Okay, so going back to here, I just did a little bit of rearranging here of my dimensions here so they fit a little bit better. And I had done a little bit of fine tuning to fit that onto the sheet because that's how you put your items on the sheets. So I got this sheet. That looks pretty darn good. I think we're all set there. The only thing I don't have here is I actually have to put a tag here. So back over to here, I'm going to tag this right here. Highlight this right here, and I'm going to go to annotate, and I need to add a tag. So I'm going to go ahead and tag it by the category, and I'm going to go ahead and just cancel out of there. I'm going to go ahead and place this tag. That should be number 3. So not really sure why that is. Just make sure you have your tags turned on. When you do that, you should be good to go. I should actually go ahead and just copy that. What the heck? I'll go ahead and copy that because that actually is the tag here. Oh, let's see here. Let's go back to here, tag by category, and go ahead and grab this one right here. And for whatever reason, it's giving me 4 when it really should be number. Oh, it's number 4. That's right. It should be number 4. Okay, never mind. Since it's a door, it does need to be done that way. So I'll take this and move it backwards a little bit. So I got 3 and 4. We're looking good. So that is how we do that. So we're looking good. Now the second floor plan, how are we doing here? Well, nothing on the second floor yet, so I'm going to grab this and go to level 2. I'm going to pull this over in here, and level 2 goes over here, and we drop it, and level 2 is looking pretty good there, and those are the basics right there. And for level 2, I actually don't need the dimensions like we see here, and I do need an attic stairs note. That's about all I need here, and I can go ahead and just move it over a little bit here. And for this one, I'll go back to here, and I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of these dimensions. They're not needed. And I'm going to put in a note that says attic stair. And to do that, you would go to annotate, and you'd go here to text, and I would say, you know, I want a leader here, and I'm going to type in attic stairs. So okay, so that's a little small, so I can go ahead and change that by highlighting that and changing from 3/30 seconds to 1/4 inch. And that makes that larger, and we're good to go there. So attic stairs, and we are good. So floor 1 is in good shape. First floor plan, second floor plan, and then we go to the elevations. How are we doing here? Elevations. Okay, yeah, kind of weird. I don't know why they should have kind of been in here, but they're not. So we'll just go ahead and pull them on here. So I pull on this one right here, drop that there, and these are supposed to be 3/16. So I'm going to drop this one here. Good, and then I will pull the north over here to the side, and I'm going to pull this along here, and it's going to should fit neatly like that. All right, pretty much like that. And what I want to do here is I actually want to have these kind of fit, and you know, they want to be yeah, I want them aligned with each other. Okay, so we go ahead and have that, and yeah, I want to align those. So we're going to align these. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. Click on this, and then I can pull this. Let's see here. Okay, click on. There we go. So I've got that in place, and then this needs to move up just a couple notches. Boom, boom, right there. Okay, so we're good to go there. That's looking good, and then we'll continue on here by going to south and pulling the south over to here. And south goes like this. It's going to go ahead and align itself like that. And then the last one is going to be west. And so we pull west in here. And west, we can go ahead and use this. It's going to find this as its dock. And then we can do a little bit of work here to make this a little bit better. So we double click inside here. And first of all, these go a little further over than they need to. I'm going to back those off. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, over here, going to grab this by clicking on the edge and pulling this back over a little bit so that it's more in line with the other one. All right, here, and then over here, pull it back, and somewhere like that. And I think that's how we want to be. And a little over, and we'll do this, and they do align, but we'll just kind of get it close right now. I'll let you guys go ahead and do a little more work with that, and we'll go ahead and do that. So now that I've got that, we are looking pretty good here, and I might just want to move these two views over a little bit, give myself a little bit of room, and then at that point, you can kind of like do perfect right here, and aligning them like they should. So once you got that, first floor, second floor, and there's your elevations, your foundation plan is going to look like this, and your foundation plan is going to be coming out of here under footing, and let's see here. So footing, I'll just drag footing onto there, and that's over here for my foundation plan, and I'll go ahead and pull that in. So I'll grab the footing, grab this over, and drop this into here, and this is my footing. And the one thing that's missing right here is it doesn't have dimensions, so I put dimensions around it, and then I need to put a note in that says thickened slab along with a detail line. So back here over here in the footing, the dimensions are going to be along the outside, so I'll put a dimension here, and I'm just going to go ahead and place one. Let's see here, if it'll let me do this. I think it will, should. Let's just do it this way. I'll go there. It's not doing it that way yet. Okay, it's not. So let's do it this way. I will do this, see if I can't do it this way. All right, not let me get in dimensions here, so let's try this again. Click here, all right, over to here, yep, go here to here. And there we are, 30 feet, and then we'll go here, down to here. And that's 24 feet over to this side, so we'll go ahead and drop those in. So I have those, and then once I've got that, I'm going to make what's called a detail line. So I'm going to detail line right here, and I'm going to make a rectangle, and I'm going to use the style that is actually called, it's hidden, that means it's dashed, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this and pull it down here, and this one needs to be, oh, let's see, that needs to be 26 feet this direction, and because it's got to be 4 feet less, and then this has to be 20 feet, so 26 by 20 feet, I dropped it there, and we are good to go. Now, to get this whole thing, I can go ahead and grab the whole thing and just move it like this, and I'm just going to eyeball it right now because it's automatically going to find the basics right there. So I've got that. Last thing is to put a note in here, and the note is annotate. Go to my text, and I'm going to go and use a 1/4 inch again, and I'm going to go here and over to here and have it say, okay, thickened edge slab. Inches by 24 inches. There we go. And so I got that. And when I'm done with that, let's take a look at the sheet, make sure that's looking good. And we are looking good. All right, so far so good. Everything's going well. Last thing is the wall section. Now the wall section, this is where we have to put a section together to actually make this, basically to set this up right here. So let me put in a wall section. And what I want to do is I want to get a section where I'm actually looking at a part of the wall. And so to do that, I'm going to go back to level 1. And on level 1, I'm going to pick, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and go to view to put this in here. And to make a section right here, I want to look at it from the front and then go through. So let me try it this way. Let's see here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick a point here and go across here. And okay, you can't see it in this view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on. So to do that, I go to View and the Visibility Graphics, and up under Annotation, Sections right now is turned off. That's why I can't see it. So I drew something, but it's not visible. So let's turn it on, hit Apply, and see what I've got here. And so I went ahead and put this in, and that is looking like that. So let's see how close we came. Let's see how that's looking. I double click there, and it shows me this. Okay, I'm getting a little bit there. I'm kind of missing the roof though. Let's see what's going on with that. Let's see if I can't get the roof to display. Okay, that's going like that. I actually want the roof, so I think I need to change the configuration. So let me go back to here to level 1, and yeah, that's not showing me that, so I'm going to do it a different way. I'm going to delete this one here, and to do that, I'm going to go to here, delete it, and yes, I'll go ahead and delete that. And I'm going to try this differently. I'm going to go from the front this time. Let's go ahead and let's see here. I want it to face. Okay, so let me see. So I'll go. I want to definitely get that. So let's try it this way. And all right, we'll try it this way, and then we'll flip it. All right, try it this way now, and I'm going to flip it this way. See if this doesn't work better. Flip that. Okay, flip that. Okay. Okay, it's facing that way. Let's see how we do here now. Oh, I did the same thing, didn't I? Okay. All right, let me get this right. All right, let me pause this. Okay, and what we're going to do right now is we are going to just put the section in a little different location here. I'm going to show you it right here. I'm going to go here, and we're going to go right like this. And that is how you want that. So we're going to click on this, and when we click on this, we can actually change the size of this, and we're going to pull it down a little bit just so it looks like this. And then we're going to double click here, and when we do this, it's going to show us this right here, and that's what we want that to look like. That's our section view. So we got that, and now we're in here, and this is one of the views. It's a wall section view, and we're going to make it look like it does on page A5. So I've got this right here. So let me show you how we go ahead and begin to work with this. First of all, I'm going to hide this in the view, hide this category, so that's no longer there. And it looks like I've got, oh, okay, I've got that there. Okay, I'm seeing actually a part of the track there, and I don't necessarily need that. So going back to here, I can change the track, pull this in a little bit, so it doesn't show me that anymore. And going back into this, so it looks like this here. So now we are looking good, and I could go ahead and pull over a little bit further, I guess, and I could go ahead and put it in a couple different locations. Or I could actually hide this in the view. I could just go ahead. I'll just go ahead and do that. Hide this in the view by category, and that's not going to show up. So now I've got this. So now, taking a look on page 5, I want to do a couple things here. First of all, the bottom looks good, and then looking over here, I'm seeing some good information here, some good detail. So if I go to here, if I go to shaded, it shows me what's going on in that wall there. I'll leave it a hidden line here, and what I want to do now is I want to put in some insulation. So putting in insulation is one of the easy things to do. It's under annotate, and it's right up here under insulation, right up here. So I'm going to start insulation. I'm going to go ahead and start it right up here and pull it right down. And as I do this, I can actually pull it down into this cavity and drop it there. Now, once I have it done, I can actually just move it over a little bit so it fits inside that cavity, and it does perfectly. And so that's just a drag and drop kind of a thing. Okay, so that's there. And then you can go up at the very top and kind of pull it down a little bit if you don't want it to be quite up at the very top. Now, at the very bottom, if you take a look at it, you'll notice that there is a bottom plate, which is actually a stud. And so to put this in here, I would get this under my content over here, and I would go over here and I would get that under my families. And under my families here, it's actually under detail items. And under detail items, I have a few things out here. One of the ones that I want is nominal cut lumber. The nominal cut lumber is going to give me 2x4s, whatever size I have. In this case, I want a 2x4. I'm going to pull it in here. Just going to drag it in. And when I do this, notice it looks like this. It looks like, oh, I got a 2x3 instead. I want a 2x4. So I pull the 2x4 in here, and I can use my arrow keys to flip it around. So I just flip it in place. I'm going to drop it here. And boom, that's now in place right there. You take a look at that, and it actually hides the insulation behind it. So that's what we can do that. And while I'm still in here, I'm going to go ahead and drop in my top plate here. So I'm going to go here, go ahead and drag this in here, and I'm going to go ahead and bring this in, do that, or flip it, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll flip one more time so I can actually kind of align it with this. And I'll go there, and I'll go here. When I do that, it actually, well, I should have copied that, but yeah, I can go ahead and do this and pull this in again, and do this, and I can do this and drop this here. And I should be able to drop it there, and I do. So that gives me that. So now I have these studs right here, and I've got a top plate, and I've also got a bottom plate there. And then there's one other item in here that I want to place in here, and this is also in this detail section. It's called an anchor side bolt. I'm going to use a 3/4 inch anchor side bolt and drag it into my drawing. Oh, I'm sorry, anchor side bolt hook. Anchor side bolt hook, and 3/4 is what I want. I'm going to go into here, and it looks like this here. I'm going to take it, and I think I can flip it in different directions like that. And I can also take it and place it here, which I'll do. So I'm going to take it here and kind of drop it right in position here. And we'll go ahead and drop it there. And when we do that, I then see the bolt in place. And then what I can do is I can actually extend it in different directions. And I can pull it down this way a little bit to make it longer. I can also back the tail off a little bit, longer or shorter, to make that a little more realistic one way or the other. And that's how I can put that in there. So this is all detail that you put in here from there. The last thing up here is I actually need to use what's called a masking region to hide this information up here. I actually want to hide a little bit of this, and so to do that, I'm going to use a masking region right here, masking region. So when I use a masking region, I can actually draw a shape over something so it hides it. So in this case, this video is showing you how to hide that stud. So I go ahead and go to there, and when I do that, it's going to be masked. So I'm going to mask this section up here. So I'm going to use, I'm going to start with an invisible line. Actually, I'm going to start with a visible line. I'm going to go with a medium line. I'm going to start here. I want to go over this direction. I want to mask it, and I'm going to go right up to the very edge here. And that's where I want to go. And then I'm going to go up here, and I'm still using a masking region. I'm going to go there. And then I want to go down, and now I'm going to make it invisible. I'll have to change it afterwards. I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to hit my green check mark. And when I do that, it is now hiding that. And this right here needs to just get pulled down. So I do that. So now it's hiding there, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to edit this boundary, and over this line right here needs to now be invisible. So I'll make it an invisible line, and we do that. And when I do that, hit the green check mark, it then, okay, there it is. You got to kind of zoom out a little bit for it to see your change. Okay, so now that I've got this, I now have a number of lines that just have to be labeled. Okay, I think I've got everything there. And you'll notice that right here is a few things. So I'll just label a couple things, and you guys will know how to do the rest. And so, excuse me, the text here, I'm going to text, and I'm here. And I'm going to make this 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to start with this one. I'll just go ahead and make this, go up here and call this one, maybe this isn't the right size. I don't think it is. So I will do this. I'll say no, and I'm going to make this a different size. I'll make it 3/32 inch Arial. Let's see if that looks a little better. Yeah, I think that's better. And that's going to be 3/4 inch plywood sheathing. So 3/4 inch, all caps plywood, and then sheathing. S-H-A-T-H-A-G, like that. And we go ahead and close out of there. And that's how we go ahead and put in this notation here. And all of these should be fine. And then I've actually got 1/2 inch siding over here, so I'll go ahead and put this note in here too. And this is how you go ahead and put all of this in. And you know, we go ahead and make it like that, and then 1/2 inch siding, siding, and we do that. And this is how we go ahead and put these notes in here. And yeah, so I think that's how we go. I think that's the right size. Yeah, I think that's going to work. And so as we go through here right now, you just continue to place the rest of these dimensions, notes in here. And up here, I want to go ahead and put a note up here for my asphalt shingle. So I go to here and S-P-H-A-L-T H-I-N-G-A-S, like that. And I can go ahead and do that. The other thing I would do now is I would go ahead and I would hide the this right here, the region, okay, the crop region. So I can go ahead and do that and make it look like this right here. And that is how we go ahead and make this detail, okay? So I've got this detail, that's looking good, and I think we're in good shape there. I don't think, I think everything would fit there. Very worst case, you can change the size of the text. I think there's one more choice here. You can use schedule default. Actually, I think 3/32 is going to be right. So 3/32 is right. So we'll go ahead and deal with that. And that's how you do it. And everything else, you just go ahead and put these different notes on there. And that's something you guys should know how to do. And then I go back to my sheets. And to my sheets, I would then drag this on top. So I go to my wall section, and I want to pull that one out of there. So over here to my section, my wall section over here. I go ahead and drop it. See how, oh, and that is not the right one there. So let's go ahead and get rid of this one. I'm going to grab section 1, which is the one that I made here. Let's pull this one out, and this one looks like this. Okay, and it's too small. It should be 1 inch equals a foot. So back over to my section 1, and I'm going to make that 1 inch equals a foot. So it fits better. 1 inch equals 1 foot. Okay, so that's why it changed. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, so then back over to the wall section. May have to change this a little bit. Yep, I think I will. And so I'm going to take this and drag it down so it fits there. And then a couple changes here, a couple things. I'm going to grab this and click on this. And when I do this, click on the actual item there. And Okay, and I can go ahead and take this and pull it in a little bit and pull this down a little bit. Should be something like that. And so it fits a little better. And I can just go ahead and up like that. And then when we're done, I can take it and I can move it up a little bit. And then to get this last little bit here, I'm going to grab this and pull it in like this. And so this is how you can make this fit correctly. And this wall section kind of comes down here like this. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and that lets me pull this down to the far edge right here. So we got that, and that's how we go ahead and put these items into our drawing, and that's how we go ahead and make that work. And so we got that. And so that is how we go ahead and make the section. So we got that. So then the last thing you want to do is turn off that, and then the other thing, I think our text right on here is actually, I'm going to grab all my text, and I think the text should have stayed at the other side. So let me go ahead and change it to 1/4 inch just so it looks better. I just didn't have it sided correctly. I think that's going to do it for you. Make that 1/4 inch, I think will be okay there. And yeah, I think that's going to do the trick. And yeah, that's good. And then I can go ahead and take this and move this up. Yeah, I'm just going to grab this and pull this up like that, and grab the edge and pull this down. And so at that point, we've got a very good representation as far as how this goes. Last thing is, and I'm going to have to stop again, and so I'm going to go ahead and stop this because I need to put